Very good question. How can we be united? Let me first tell you how we cannot be united. One is follow me. That's the idea right now, right? Let's be united. What does that mean? Follow me. No, you just have more chiefs than Indians. You know that. So how can we be united? Everybody has their own idea, right? So that's not going to work. Selling out, it's not going to work. Just accepting everybody is not going to work, because if you're making shirk and kufr and I'm talking about tawheed, how's that going to work, right? How will we be united? Go back to the kitab. Literally, go back to the Quran. Okay, what does Allah tell us in the Quran? Go back to the Sahih Hadith, the authentic Sunnah. If you say your hand should be like this and I say like this, okay, why we got to argue about it? Let's sit down, bring the books of Hadith, let's see what we have, right? Go back to the way of the best generation, right? I'm not talking about you have to follow my sheikh and you sit with this sheikh, then you're whatever. I'm not talking about that nonsense. I'm talking about looking at how Abu Bakr and Umar and Uthman and Ali radiallahu anhum, how they governed, how they brought the ummah together, how they dealt with situations, right? Going back to the people of knowledge, sitting down with our shuyukh and a'imma and ulama. Now, having said that, there is a very core, and I want everyone to pay attention to this element that's missing in that, is nasiha, wanting good for your brothers and sisters. If me and Rami have an issue, me and Rami need to talk about it offline. I need to be like, bro, what was up with the dabka, man? Right? I love you. I'm going to talk to you. I'm going to give you advice. You take it or you don't take it. I'm going to do it in a way to benefit you. I'm not going to be like, oh my God, did Rami just make a mistake? Yes! Videos on Rami refuted, right? And again, the Muslim audience, you're part of the problem. You love drama. Instead of watching durus, instead of watching da'wah even to kuffar, you're waiting for Shaykh Uthman refuted. I'm a nobody. Refute me all you want. So what? What's that going to do? Doesn't change anything, right? So nasiha, wanting good for our brothers and sisters, putting the ummah's interests before our own, will bring then us back to the kitab wa sunnah sincerely. Not that I try to take from the Quran sunnah what I want, right? Going back to what does Allah want? Muslim, aslama, I submit, right? Last thing, long-term planning. Don't be short-sighted. Today the ummah is very short-sighted. We want a khilafah tomorrow. We want Palestine free yesterday. And look, I understand when you're dealing with these things, it becomes emotional. Trust me, I can't even watch some of those videos. From India and from other places, the Muslim, what they're going through. But if we don't think long-term, you will only end up with failures like what we're seeing and, what happened in Syria and things like this, right? May Allah protect our brothers and sisters everywhere. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam made the Treaty of Hudaybiyah. And it was a very harsh treaty against the Muslims, unfair. There were people that became Muslim that came to Medina to seek refuge at the Prophet ﷺ. He couldn't give them because he had to keep his word. And those were sometimes tortured then. And the Muslims felt that, like, how could we allow that? But Rasulullah ﷺ, he knew the long-term benefit of what was going on. So he was patient. We need that in our ummah. Last thing. Stop complaining. I'm sick of people complaining. Stop watching Fox and CNN and BBC and shaking your fist. This king over there, why isn't he doing it? This guy, this leader, this guy. You be the guy. Step up. You may not be able to go and lead an army, but you can do something, right? You can give da'wah. You can be a good neighbor and speak to you can clarify to your co-workers or students in your school what's really going on, right? Without getting fired, inshallah, right? You can be a better Muslim. You can go and say, you know what? For the sake of Palestine, I'm going to give up this issue that me and you had in our family, and we're going to be like, look, why are we arguing about a piece of land when, you know how many Muslims are killed by other Muslims, right? Let's stop that. Let's start looking at how can me and you sit down and be like, look, we're dealing with a situation. These are the leaders. These are the this. These are the whatever. What are practical things me and you can do? Educate the people, right? Take a step. You be the change, right? You step up and inshallah, ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It might not be in our generation. Might not be 10 generations, but the victory will be ours.
Inshallah.